Well, I told him to put the pills on. He always gonna have. Alright, let's see what the heck is up there now. You got some shit. I'll tell you something right now. I'm gonna fix that soon for y'all, but we're cooking. Okay, YouTube is live with no camera. You gotta get in the beginning where I'm at. I'm gonna cut out for pre-record, just for the sake of you. Like, hopefully there's audio. Well, okay, now I'm good. You have to see me and stuff like that. So, but the thing is, not on my actual screen. I'm in my OBS. My camera is not. Yeah. I'm streaming on multiple platforms, so my computer moving slow right now. I'm moving mad slow right now. So don't mind the intro. You gotta sort this out right now. Sort this out. Let me see if I have audio. Am on Rumble. Let me see. I'm just gonna drop the Rumble. I know my values and my worth, they ain't looking around me. With my goals, all let them surprise me. And the ones I laid in stone, angels fly next to me. Scared what the take. And be my best, we make you shake, they ain't looking around me. With my goals, all let them surprise me. And my ones I laid in stone, angels fly next to me. White face of the black star, G. And then you reach the point. We would be next time. We don't want anyone like that. I like to keep my crazy. I see no way the world's going on. Couldn't be a shame. Execute the plan, you know that shit's my enemy. My highest self, the PhoenixOracle psychic black, but that's me. Let me know. I'm staying with the team. And be my guys, we make you shake, man. The compass is melody. It wasn't easy in that and I'm humble. In my work, they ain't looking down on me. I like to keep my feeling. I see the way the world's going. I had to execute the plan, you you know that's just my enemy. My high self, the Phoenix Oracle. I'm standing. Every month I was making shit, made a couple since I was getting I know my values and my work, my shit, made a couple since I was getting I know my values and my work, and he's looking down on me. We have to get right with our equipment and things of that nature. So now that we got that all in place, we're straight. Although next time I have to adjust my YouTube cam because y'all on YouTube can't see. I guess I'm supposed to appear in that box on YouTube and can't see, which is okay. I could show you. I wonder if I could share a video of the channel session for full moon prep. Guys. So looking at the chart, what we got going on? We got the sun just entered Gemini, man. So shout out, happy solar return to all the Geminis out there. The sun just entered Gemini on the 20th, I think 21st. We are 0 degrees, so we are in this little cusp cloud energy to where there's a lot of transition. So around this time, this is usually I always notice like an eerie energy. You know, it's not eerie as in like creepy or scary, but it's like space. You kind of just you're developing preparation. My interpretation is we're developing preparation for the next cycle, for the next action, right? And that's that little cusp cloud area, about 4 or 5 degrees going on, and we're locked in. We have the 5-day energy portal has officially opened up, so we now are open for the 5-day energy portal in terms of to be on Wednesday. We can actually check it out right now. We got the dates on screen. Shout out to my Rumble fan. Rumble always seems to be streaming that much smoother and things of that nature. So shout out to my Rumble fan. We got that going, no problem. YouTube always some errors and things of that nature, but it's all good. We're gonna figure it out. I'm guessing though when we go two different streamer codes, like there's 2 different streamer codes, and obviously one code and one password works for one software at a time. So when you take, like if you have, I'm using the Rumble code with my OBS, and that's what's registered with my OBS, so it's picking up the cam and stuff fine. But on the YouTube side, it's connecting and it's registering my OBS, picking up the camera, and so we're picking up the screen and the connection to the things of that nature. Because the cool thing about Mac is that I can use my phone as a webcam for streaming, which is what I like. Anyways, looking at the 22nd today, and it's going to be peaking 3 degrees. It peaks 3 degrees when it reaches up 3 degrees. So when the moon is at 3 degrees Gemini and the sun's at 3 degrees, the moon's at 3 degrees Sag and the sun's at 3 degrees Gemini, then it's completely opposite, 180 degrees. That's the peak of the full moon. So it is peaking on Thursday relatively. The exact hour, this is at Thursday 9 GMT. That's at 9 p.m. EST. Let me make sure though, but because I can change that time zone as well. Probably not. No, okay. I think it just uses a 24-hour time. So I guess for me it would be, yeah, you time into your local time zone. Okay, so universal time from the recognized. So well, yeah. So this would just be 9 my time, 9:30. So it should peak in Sag. Since to meet up at 3 degrees with Gemini, it should peak around. So mid afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, right? We have the full moon peaking, and then the whole day we're gonna feel this. And right now the portal's open up right now. So Libra moon. So from today, which is actually from yesterday, which would be the 19th, right, all the way until the 23rd. Yeah, the 19th, the 18th, yeah, 18th, so around then. But I like to say the 23rd is the middle, the peak is the middle. So I would say from the 20th to today, the portal is open, and until and full moon in Sag. Let's get into the energy, right? So we have the sun just entering Gemini. When the full moon peaks on that day, Thursday, will be 3 degrees. When we get to 3 degrees, right, we'll also be in the position to let me just check something real quick. That we'll be past the cusp. That's what I meant. That's what I'm referring to say. So we'll be past the cusp when we get to 3 degrees, and then here we'll be integrating that unity, that communication, and that vocation, right? And this is going to be the unification and the vocation of our experience behind what we do, unification behind our communication and vocalization. So there's going to be a lot of meaning and reasoning incorporated right now. Full moon in Sag and the sun in Gemini. We have a lot of this opposite energy as well, so be mindful of a full moon scenario. But energy, like with Gemini here and Sag here, it's the energy. The energy is to get outside. Like a lot of times, the full moon scenarios can play out exactly that. Full moon scenarios, which this still can, but this is a really friendly, communicative people type of time, right? You probably want to network more. You're probably not so shy to communicate. You're probably not so shy to step out the box or appear yourself and do something different. Just to free yourself, free the boundary from that you keep caged on your own self. And a lot of times that's going to play out through Gemini energy. So through our actions, it's going to be playing out through communication, through friend groups, through social networks, media, through online business, through relationships and things of that nature, whether intimate or friendships, is playing out through that, right? So we're going to be emotionally reacting and expressing, because the full moon is expression and release, to where we're expressing our experiences. We're letting go of certain experiences that no longer serve us in order to network and communicate and position ourselves and join forces with the people that we want to unify with in the future to move forward, right? Because the full moon also deals with shedding and release. So when we're in that energy of release, with the moon in Sag, we're focused on letting go of past experiences that hold us back from unifying and communicating, aka Gemini, Sun in Gemini, right? That's the action, the act of communicating, the act of speaking. And it's going to be, we're going to want to do that. So we're going to be doing that based upon where the moon is. So a lot of light is being shunned on our experiences, the wisdom we get, the wisdom that we gain based upon experience, our meaning and reasoning behind that, right? And this is often communicated with the sun in Gemini. We're going to be unifying forces and partnerships and networks and things of that nature that fuels us in communicating your experiences. So right now, with the sun in Gemini, moving going through the next 30 days, complete cycle, and we're hitting the full moon, complete opposition, this the courage and shining light and the illumination on your individual experiences. So what individual experiences have you went through that you can communicate with other people to relate to? Theme of the month, right? Theme of this full moon, surrounding this full moon. And there's going to be a lot of this relating and communicating with the sun in Gemini as we move forward, right? So that's getting into a little bit of that energy. Getting into a little bit of that energy with the before we do get into the rest of the alignments with the full moon in Sag, I do want to get into this moon in Scorpio here. So tomorrow we go into to today actually, because right now we're actually playing on the Scorpio moon. The moon in Scorpio, and from here, right, we're taking out the energy, right? What, even if it's intimate relationships, or you just met a girl, you just met a guy that maybe you're resonating with, we're going to be playing out this deep connection through communication. So make sure you're asking the right questions. This person, this business partnership, this legal contract, because Libra deals with law as well and systematic structure, right? When you're looking at your foundation in terms of law, tickets, etc. Like maybe there's someone who helped you out with a court case. That's someone you can go deeper with. Like there's certain things too. Like even if you got help on a court case the last 2-3 days, who helped you and how can you go deeper in that help to figure out the situation, right? So because we feel that, because it's the moon, that's how we react and respond in our emotions. We feel this sense of depth and to connect on a deeper level with our relationships. We're going to do that through communication. So there's going to be a lot of communication this month, Gemini season. There's going to be a lot of communication. There's going to be a lot of vocation. There's going to be a lot of analyzation, a lot of thinking, a lot of conversations with people, places, and things. A lot of people likely in your life on social media, friend groups, group chats, and things of that nature. Voice conversation, such as things like Discord, all that kind of stuff. Clubhouse, right? A lot of webinars, online stuff, meetings. That's very much highlighted. Now if you're younger, maybe a lot of playtime with the kids, with your friends if you're younger, like in the teens and things of that nature. Although not a lot of teens don't watch this type of content, but if you are, in the younger area where you're like early high school and things of that nature, this could be connected with a friend group. You going to, more parties and things of that nature, and more occasions and fun events and festivals and things of that nature. That's this energy, Gemini, Sun in Gemini. So there's a lot of connection and unification happening. This is a big time for birth as well. Even with the moon going into Scorpio from Libra, the moon in Libra, going into Scorpio, there could be a lot of children being born around this time too. Once it's that happens, you can do that at any moment. But this is a highlighted time where that can be amplified. Just so you guys understand that as well, because obviously those people out there will say, "Well, anyone can do that any day." Well, yeah, that's not the point. Everything regarding that with the full moon going from Libra into Scorpio, it's what energies and aspects we have as the moon goes into Scorpio. Check it out. Shout out to the Rumble fam. Shout out y'all still on 40 minutes in. It was like 20 minutes dealing with software and things of that nature. So I'll put a timestamp in the description to skip when the live actually starts and things of that nature. So I ain't got no worries. Just making sure I check chats. So I'm just checking the chats, make sure y'all cool. So as we look into Scorpio, and 1 degree Gemini, and we're still good on we're good on YouTube and on Scorpio. Oh, nice. And my camera came on Rumble, so I just have to activate. Very interesting. Oh, so maybe I can go on screen and shit like that on YouTube. I'm gonna do this. Okay, I can stop share my screen. Boom! There we go. I got it. You got it. You got this sticky thing. So just for the sake of that, you got that. So for the sake of that, I'm going into intermission. Let's see on Discord. Let's see what's popping. I'm going intermission now. Intermissions. I'm going on the family. And just because I'm on the lonely, I want your attitude. I'm so many baby in the dark, so I express them. I'm the you know, only way it's gonna last from the tree. They want it up to the time to me. Premature, only say they can't be. The only color you see in my life, but we come around, make it shake, made a couple scenes now with you. It wasn't easy, and that I'm a humble. I know my body, and my birthday, you looking down on me. Come around, make it shake, made a couple scenes now with you. It wasn't easy, and that I'm a humble. I know my body, and my birthday, you looking down on me. My goal, won't let them surprise me. My words only really strong, ain't just fly next to me. I know you like myself, why things to the back stuff, you. And if you what, you would be next up. I don't know why they look like that. You my king, I see the way the world's going, I couldn't be straight. I have to execute the plan, you know that's just why any sorrow looks like you rapping, that's me. Let me come around, stand with the team. Send me my thoughts, we make it shake, man, a couple scenes now with you. It wasn't easy, like I'm humble. I know my body and my work, and you looking down on me. Nope, I'm not going to get copyrighted with no random music right now. But yeah, we good on YouTube, y'all. So we done figure that out properly, which is very, very nice. So yo, wasn't easy out now. Run it up, man. Run it up. So banger, we cooked it up on live. You go see the behind the scenes everywhere right now. Now go check it out. Do some work, edit, mixed, massive, engineered by your boy. So listen, tomorrow we're moving into May 21st. We get the sun in 1 degree Gemini. We have that 111 energy with the moon Scorpio. Scorpio. Let's see. Which is still cool. So with that being said, what other energies we got going on? We have, so with the moon in Scorpio, 1 degree, we have moon opposed Mercury, moon trine Saturn. Yeah, it is opposite Mercury, damn near opposite Venus, damn near opposite Jupiter, and damn near opposite Uranus. Yeah, we have a lot of Taurus energy right now, guys. So moving from this Taurus to Scorpio moon may feel very intense. A lot of times, especially as we're building up to the full moon inside, this may seem and may play out like a double full moon, where we have the full moon expensive. That's why even if you can consider today from yesterday, like it's full moon energy, like at up in the face, you know what I'm saying? Because we have right now dealing with 1 degree Gemini, and then because it's very interesting, guys, because with all this Taurus energy, and Scorpio plays out as a stinger. It's like transformation and rebirth, right? So you can go through a full moon scenario with it. It's like we in full moon energy right now. The portal is open. So as we're going from Scorpio to Sag, you may see shit happen during the Scorpio moon. So over the next 2 days, we could see things happen that actually set us free when the full moon is illuminated in Sagittarius. It's like the experience through Scorpio showed us the light, aka Sag, and the moon in Sag. You get what I'm saying? It's like that type of energy. Also, going from Scorpio to Sagittarius, everyone's going to be very deep in terms of how they feel with themselves and their form of expression, especially deep in terms of the connections that they have with other people. So a lot of people may be overly expressive, or their way of not even the way they're reacting and responding is a little harsh, or can seem aggressive in some way, or intense, based upon how they feel towards these connections that they have with these people. So like certain communities, certain brotherhoods and things of that nature, certain connections between men and women that we have, friendships and things of that nature. You can go really hard for these things at these times. It can be a very intense thing. You can see things play out in the world like this because we're gonna feel a deep connection to the people that we relate to, the people that we connect to in our environment, our surroundings, our work, etc., our neighborhood, our home, right? In our, we walk around, etc. Is gonna feel a deep sense, a deep, intense emotion towards these people, right? And whether it's a positive or negative thing, I'm not sure. I can't speak on your life. I just know it'll play out to the form of wanting to express ourselves for the sake of feeling free, right? So there's some deep form of connection that you feel, right, within towards the people you connect with mentally, right? And when the moon is in Sag, how you express that. If you are an individual that doesn't have like order of your expression, it may be very wild out. You may notice people expressing things over the next week, wild and out. Like they saying way more than they usually would. They're doing way more than they usually would. It's because Sag is all about that freedom, that expression, that expansion. It's that Jupiterian energy. But there's always a polarity to things. There's always a positive and negative, or a good and a bad. So people can overly express certain things during Sag and be like that super free energy. It's like you don't want to bury them. So we can be overly expressive because we don't want that barrier towards the people and groups and networks and things of that nature that we are deeply emotionally connected to. You see what I'm saying? And then this can be, like I said, this can be co-workers that you are working with, your team, your co-workers, etc. This can be your community, your network, right? Your friend groups and things of that nature, whatever social media groups you're invested in. This can be all those things because we're deeply connected to these things, right? So whether or not we're connected for a positive or negative reason, we're going to see that play out as the moon goes into through Scorpio into Sag. We may not express it with the Scorpio moon, when the moon's in Scorpio, aka over the next 2 days, we may not express this thing. It's deep water. We're going to feel it. But when it's in Sag, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're going to want to express that thing. You're going to want to say it. And you're not going to want to be tied down to how you want to say it. If you love someone, you're going to express how much you love being with that person, how much you love building that connection, how much you are deeply connected with this person. If it's someone that you don't like, you're going to express how much you hate that person. You see what I'm saying? To allow you to grow, to allow you to expand. So it's a very important thing to keep that in mind as well, because that's what allows you to grow. And it's important to realize that deep connection to something, so we know whether or not we want to separate or we want to stay connected, or something can help us grow and expand out of, right? So those are some key factors here to keep in mind. Key factors to keep in mind. We have Venus and Taurus. We spoke on Venus and Taurus conjunction in our Moon in Taurus video segment, but obviously with the Mercury and Venus, Mercury and Venus conjunction, and then Venus conjunct Jupiter, Venus conjunct Uranus, right? So there's a lot of emphasis towards like Uranus. Uranus brings change. That's Aquarius energy, authenticity. There's a lot of change and authenticity being emphasized towards our relationships. So if relationships aren't authentic, they're normie, they're brokey. When I say brokey, they're broke mentally. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like enriching relationships. Like you don't have to be wealthy to have an enriching relationship, right? I don't believe that at all. So that's what I mean when I say brokey relationship, right? When it's not enriching, it's not fulfilling, it's lame, right? And it's surface level, etc. You can't connect on any other levels and things of that nature. That's this change that's urging you to shake the foundation. If it doesn't make sense, Uranus is going to change that thing. And it deals with relationships, it deals with business contracts, etc. This also can bring severe changes and positive changes in terms of money, income, value, status, and foundation towards that type of stuff, right? So your money can be changing right now. How you create a foundation could be changing. You may notice a radical change towards how you make money or how you conduct yourself, right? Because Taurus deals with Taurus deals with money, finances, and then Venus also deals with earnings as well, because it's the ruler of Taurus, and Uranus deals with change and authenticity. So this is changing your foundation based upon authenticity, um, and this will affect how your level of earnings and what you deem valuable in your life as well. So this will actually help set and structure your foundation in a positive way so you can move forward. As we look into Mars and Jupiter, we have Mars in Aries, Jupiter in Taurus. Like I said, Jupiter conjunct Venus. This is emphasis. So this change is all happening for the sake of Jupiter. Jupiter has is that abundant planet, that biggest planet, that most expansive planet. So the change from Uranus is supporting the Jupiter energy, and it's all happening in Taurus. These three planets are all supporting each other: Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus. Uranus does the change, authenticity. Jupiter and Uranus also does the inventiveness. So if you like coming up with new ideas, right? Coming up with new knowledge for yourself, like being that inventor, being that innovative. That's Uranus. Jupiter deals with growth, expansion, gaining, originating, and experience. Venus does relationships and finances, and your earnings, your ability to earn. So this is all changing for the sake of to grow and expand your earning ability. And that's what that Taurus, in the sign of Taurus, is that's what creates the stability, the foundation, the practicality, the money, the status, and the value. Not the status, but the value. Status comes from Capricorn. Which, like I said, these aren't people, these are energy signatures that we all embody every day. So I don't care whether you want to say you believe in astrology or not, whether you or you don't. At the end of the day, the sun is always rotating, the moon is always rotating, and we always have there's always that access and things that nature regarding the equator. So with that being said, there will always be seasonal transitions. With that being said, astrology will always be around. It's a lifelong practice. That's the concept behind it. So you guys are aware of that as well, because I am aware of individuals out there. Not everyone does believe in astrology. It is to me, it is a spiritual system, and not just that, but a spiritual practice. And it's really just understanding the form of consciousness and interpreting the unseen world, the unseen influence, of which, of course, has the potential to expand beyond astrology, etc. But this is understanding that unseen influence, because a lot of things unseen are unmeasurable. So this is a good way of measuring our forms of consciousness. When I look at the planets, I'm an esoteric astrologer. So when I look at the planets, I'm not going to tell you anything in relation to NASA. I'm going to tell you it relating to the forms of consciousness and the internal perspective of that energy playing out. There is certain correspondences that I can give in terms of NASA and things of that nature, but I'm going to make another video on that as well, in terms of how I see the planets and how they laid it out, and what I don't think is true based upon their system, and based upon what they show us. Because even what they show us is a little different astrologically, in certain terms. So I'll be looking at it like, well, if they've been using astrology for the longest time, and they made NASA afterwards, but they still using astrology, clearly they made this NASA stuff for a reason. So I'd be looking at it like, wow, what's the reason behind that? That's my next, like, I'm saying, the NASA, which comes to the conclusion. What I don't want to talk to I am on YouTube. I don't want to talk too much about that. I'm gonna make some videos exclusively for Rumble in terms of that. If we come out YouTube early, I'll get into some of that stuff on Rumble. So to my Rumble fan, y'all make sure y'all come over to Rumble. The life free speech. Although that is a bad term too. But let's look at some of these other energies, guys. We have Saturn in Pisces, Uranus in Taurus, which we spoke about. We have Neptune in Pisces. We have Saturn and Neptune both in Pisces right now. This is literally the end of the world. Saturn deals with societal structure, and this is the end of the world as we know it. The world is the construct built and made up of your worldview. When I say the end of the world, it's the end of the world of how you know it, the end of your perception of the world. Therefore, the world is changing, and your worldview is going to have to change with it. If you don't change your worldview, it'll be changed for you in that realm that you need to. But that is my concept of understanding what's going on. So Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac, that's the end. Saturn is the world, the structure, what we know as society. In Pisces, it's falling. It's falling down, right? It's collapsing. There's no longer. We're going into a different time. Right? We're seeing society, and we can see this play out right now, guys. We're seeing society, crumble. We're seeing, all kinds of wars. We're seeing all kinds of stuff, guys, that I don't want to mention too much on YouTube. But you guys all know what's going on with the world, and there's a reason we're seeing this, and it's because of the this last cycle that we're in, clearing out a lot of this energy, ready to give birth to a new structure, a new system. Right? We have Pluto in Aquarius, which is a transit that just happened. This is going to be in effect. All this energy right here is going to be in effect for the next 15 years. You get what I'm saying? So how we take power and control over our life right now is going to affect us over the next 20 years. This Pluto and Aquarius energy, this is the shift. So with Saturn and Pisces, Saturn and Pisces is the end of the world, and Pluto and Aquarius is bringing the new world. That's the new age, the Aquarian age, right? So this is what's actually been ushered in now. This has been initiated for a little bit now, for a couple of years, but this ending is what actually brought it in. This ending is what actually brought it in, what actually conducted that energy. Instead of just initiating it and we feel it, we have subtle change, we kind of notice certain things. Now it's actually here to the point where that Saturn and Pisces brought that initiated to actually bring the fall of certain societal structures. This is why I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see the collapse of certain societal structures. As we get into Uranus and Taurus, Uranus talks about change, as I said, Taurus energy, we spoke about that. Neptune and Pisces, guys, this is all a dream. Neptune is home in Pisces. This is a very dreamy like shit. With Saturn there as well, we can be utilizing our dreams. This is some energy to utilize because it's moving. Saturn's moving into Aries, right? So if you utilize your imagination, is always ahead of the physical. Earth is an element that gets brought up after the three other elements. It gets manifested from the three other elements, right? So it's an important thing to remember. Neptune and Pisces, and then Saturn, y'all. Like Saturn is the end, moving into Aries is the new beginning. Neptune is utilizing your imagination and creativity. It's in 29 degrees Pisces. The creativity and the dreams and fantasies that you pick up right now, you can create a structure around it to bring that knowledge, Pluto and Aquarius, down here, right? But you have to take, for example, that knowledge is creative, aka Neptune knowledge, Aquarius. But you have to take power and control, aka Pluto, to create around that hobby or creative thing, to create a foundation around it, aka Saturn. So as the world crumbles, Pisces and Saturn, you know what I'm saying? You're ready to be initiated into the new world when Saturn enters Aries. You get what I'm saying? So your worldview will also be shifting as well based upon what you build. So this is how you stay tapped in and alignment with the shifts that are currently going on. Let's see what we got on here. That looks like we got a couple North Node things, guys. Aries, North Node in Aries, Chiron in Aries, Lilith in Virgo. Just to run down Chiron, I know we spoke about Chiron a little bit with Mars. There we have Chiron. Chiron is aka the wounded healer. So with a lot of that energy, guys, Chiron is going to be dealing with a lot of direct healing energies, right? So a lot of our passions, motivations, and desires are going to be acting on based upon either trauma or based upon our forms of healing. Right? So it's all about how we do this. Remember, it's not what you do, it's how we do it, because we're all doing the same thing, we're just doing it differently. So we're either healing or we're trauma bonding, or taking actions on our traumas, right? Based upon not wanting to do that. And we can be passive aggressive because of our trauma. So be mindful as well. Certain people may be getting triggered around this time a little bit easier around certain traumatic events, especially the ones that have to do with self self-inflicted, right? Because that energy with that initiation energy can be very harsh sometimes. Keep that in mind. But yeah, guys. So with Mars there, be mindful to not be too overly passionate or too aggressive based upon certain traumas and triggers. That's the importance of shadow work at this time. Allow your traumas to motivate you to heal. Like utilize your triggers to overcome and heal and get stronger. So when you notice certain triggers, use that Mars energy to fight that, to push through it, to get to the next level, right? Based upon you understanding where your triggers are at, keep facing those triggers head on, right? So you can take that action. Lilith right here, Lilith in Virgo. Yeah, some more organizations and things of that nature. You may notice an embarrassment based upon how you organize yourself. This can be you feeling embarrassed if you have a dirty ass room and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't clean and things like that, you can feel embarrassed or a little bit shy and a little timid because you need to get organized. That's all Lilith is telling you. Lilith will embarrass you because you need to get organized. Virgo is that earth energy. Virgo is slow as well. Virgo is a little bit hermit, right? Because you get that hermit energy in tarot. So when you're getting into some of those energies, guys, it's gonna feel a little bit lazy. You don't want to do much, but you're gonna feel like an embarrassment with that energy too. So you want to kind of use that Mars energy in Aries to get something done. It's important, and even if this energy is holding you back for real, to really organize something, because Virgo's that hermit energy. It's important to develop. This is where the routine comes in. The higher octave side of Virgo comes in, to develop a routine and a behavior and a structure that's somewhat structurable day to day, so you can maintain a routine without feeling burdened or burnt out. That way you can actually get things done in a sufficient manner and keep things flowing. And you don't feel like you're not doing enough or you need to do more, if you get what I'm saying. And then that won't be an embarrassment. You won't feel like you need to get organized, you won't feel like you're behind. And you can take your time with things in an organized way with all this Taurus energy. Because Mercury and Venus and Taurus wants you to take your time with things. That patience. But Aries and Chiron is very fast. You see what I'm saying? Lilith and Virgo wants you to take your time as well. You got to utilize that earth energy. It's telling you to take your time, and it's okay to take your time. You don't want to think about it too quickly either. You don't want to deal with it too quickly either. That's fine. But understanding it's important to create a system around these relaxing behaviors so you still get things done. So your level of productivity is still up to par. You can't just sit around and then be lazy and expect things to get organized. You have to create a system and put the extra effort in to create that system and to develop that structure that you're looking for, to where you can actually move day to day, enjoy yourself, have the patience and not be overwhelmed, but also still know you're getting things done in a productive manner. That's Lilith, right? That's that Lilith energy. So a lot of us may be restructuring, reconstructing, and things of that nature. So this is powerful, guys. And then we get into Sagittarius, and this is the cosmic unification right here, right? This is the mental and intellectual integration of freedom. The mental and intellectual expression of freedom. That's what it is. Yeah, so that's what that is, guys. I wanted to just type that in so I have the title of the video. So that's what that's regarding, guys. So this is the long Starcast report. We're gonna do some short forms on the TikTok, and YouTube shorts when they're updated. But I'm going to be doing more long-term content like this as well. So as we reach the what mark are we at right now in our time? As we reach an hour, it's about to hit an hour, so this is good. This segment was about 40 minutes segment in terms of all the aspects and the astrological alignments for the week, so y'all are straight. I'm gonna title it the astrological alignments for the week, etc. That way you have the correspondence. I'll try to come on and do this every now and then more often for you guys too. Let's see what else. We got the filming with Sag as the moon is in Sag on the 24th, which is that's Thursday. So Thursday, when it's peaking in Sag 20 degrees, trying Mars, square Saturn. So this square Saturn energy is going to be significant for sure because the moon square Saturn. You know what I'm saying? That's that expression. So there's a lot of individual expression with this energy here, right? So with this, how we react and respond, as I said, it can be it's for the sake of freedom and wanting to feel free, right? So it can be overly expression, no structure, things of that nature. Just pertinently saying things, out of the blue, not really thinking or stop to them. Um, right there, that energy is significant. When I look at it, guys, I'm seeing the 19th is interesting, and then you said like missing trine Mars. So getting into the trine Mars is the easy aspect. So as the moon goes into Sag, we will have the motivations to act on our passions, motivations, and desire, which is very good, and to also express our passions, express that desire, which makes sense, guys. That's even more reason to why that energy is that freedom, and then like to express that desire and trying Mars, it'll likely be in correspondence to how you communicate, the friend groups that you connect to, the social circles you connect to, and even online, marketplaces, work, social media networks and groups you connect to, communities and things of that nature. This is easily relating to other individuals who are passionate towards the same thing as you are, right? Because it's the intellect. So you're gonna notice other individuals who are relating them with each other based upon a sense of freedom of connection, and that freedom of connection is being driven by Mars and Aries, similar passions, motivations, and desires. So we're all gonna we'll see ourselves expressing something, or likely expressing how we feel emotionally about this connection or unification of individuals coming together based upon passions, motivations, and desires. So similar passions and things of that nature. We're going to be seeing that with the full moon energy guys play out. It's a lot of conversation as well. I'm seeing a lot of conversation. A lot of groups on the way here with that energy. Very interesting to keep in mind. And then we have the square. We have square Saturn. So as we square Saturn, right? That's that frustration energy. So at the same time, we're going to have the ability to relate and express and possibly communicate and take action on this freedom of expression with the people that our network we want to communicate with, joining our forces. This could be with certain relationships as well, family, all those themes of coming together, right? Whether community based online networks and things of that nature. Um, Stuff like that. That'll be well, right? And you'll be very motivated to do that. You'll be very pushed and feel very passionate to do so, right? So as that happens, the square with Saturn is very interesting. You may want to express yourself, but the square to Saturn can also form a restriction and frustration to you towards how you feel, right? Based upon based upon not having that structure or that foundation towards your dreams. You see what I'm saying? So you may want to express that freedom, etc., with and talk with these people and network with these people that are of like-minded. But you may notice this energy of frustration and the learning process behind that when it comes to expressing the form of structure that you have formulated behind your dreams, right? Formulated behind certain those types of things. I was gonna say, your fantasies and things of that nature, right? But if you don't have if you don't have structure to a dream, then it's a fantasy. If you have structure towards that, then you know it's a vision, etc. So that's that Neptunian energy, that Piscean energy. To where you've done the work to, because we're 18 degrees in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces already, so you've done the work to structure your creativity and to structure your dreams, so you can actually express this. You don't interpret the square of frustration. You don't interpret the frustration. You actually interpret and embody the learning process, the learning side of the square, right? So something can actually be expressed and spoken about. In a manner where you feel good about it because you actually spent the time to build this thing. If you didn't spend the time to build around or structure your dreams or fantasies, or your delusions, etc., you're not going to want to express this. Maybe you even spend time building your delusions, and then you go express it, and then you're like, oh shit, it was a delusion, and then you kind of had to shed that away, But that's what we're going to see during this time. That's what it gets illuminated during the time of the full moon, right inside. That's what we all see. So whether we see people acting out, whether we see people losing it, etc., no matter what we see, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the energies. We're seeing the energies play out relatively, right? Because the frustration is the Saturn not having a foundation, not being able to make sense out of your dreams, right? Not being able to make sense out of your fantasy, to put it to have structure around it for people to have the ability to relate to it. That's important. That's that important. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. We are going to call it. We're going to call it quits on the YouTube here. We're going to be going over on Rumble exclusive right now, checking out the live Twitter feed. Going to get some Q&A questions, and then we'll be able to dive a little bit deeper into this astrological stuff and the correspondence behind. We're still growing both of our channels, but Rumble is where we can really excel. So shout out to my Rumble fam. Shout out to my YouTube fam. We shall be back, and as we close out, I'm just going to run through a little intermission break before as we end off on stuff for you guys as well, so you guys have some time to clip up. Have the Taurus and Scorpio reading. We're doing one-on-one readings today, so we're doing collective two zodiac collectives in one reading. So make sure you want to check it out. It's jam-packed with some good information you want to see. So make sure you head over to the channel. You're going to see that up posted tomorrow. That's at 11 a.m. And then we get back to our end of month segment to see to tap into the energies here of a shift. So happy Gemini season, my YouTube fam. I will see y'all soon. Oh, section 3. Yeah, if you're looking for anything, check the description box. I'm pretty sure the description is loaded with anything that you're looking for in terms of astrological readings and anything like that. So feel free to check that out. Yes, the description is there. All that email. Oh, hop in the Discord as well. Don't miss that. Appreciate you. Let's get back into it. everything is looking out on you. When I'm up on the beat, look at my team, I'm going up the family. And when you talk too much on me, I want your energy. So many reasons in the dark, so I express them